Hi Rindo, so what kind of Fiakono content are you up to this time? Well, today I'm trying to map out the relationships between the girlfriends, between the heroines of this manga series, the 100 girlfriends who really love you. I want to establish this fact first that already it's a given that all of these girlfriends have already a relationship with all of them, right? In one way or another throughout this series, they've interacted with said characters and they've already made a sort of linkage towards them, and they're also of course related as fellow girlfriends to Rentaro, the main protagonist. But what I'm trying to achieve in this portion right here is trying to just map out, I suppose, the sort of current active moments or scenes we get between a specific character and the other. And I say active, or sorry, I say current because further along the road of this manga series, perhaps you will get to see other sorts of character combinations or chapter combinations, chapters where two different girlfriends or two girlfriends who we never expect would get along together have actually gotten along. So for instance, let's say, I don't know, Hahari and Yamame, for instance, right? So that's one example. But again, of course, Hahari, Yamame, all related. They're still bound together by the same, love for the family, and of course, love for Rentaro. So with that being said, let's get started, I suppose. So what I have right here lined up is Hakari, Karine, Shizuka, Nano, Kusiri, Hahari, Kurumi, Mei, Iku, Mimimi, Meme, Chiyo, Nadi, Yamame, Momiji, Yaku, Kishika, Ako, Uto, Mai, and Momoha. Yep, I'm gonna be including Momoha for this one. So let's start with Hakari, right? So Hakari, of course, clearly, right off the bat, I wanna say that we're gonna be mapping up for the volume chapter characters together. For instance, in the volume cover for Volume 1, right, it's Hakari Karane. Volume 2, Shizuka and Nano. Volume 3 is just Kusuri, but I'll get back to her later. Kurumi and Hahari, yep, we get to see moments between them. Mei and Iku, most certainly. Mimi and Meme, yep. I gotta find a way to straighten this out. You got Chiyo, Nadi, Yamame and Momiji, Yaku and Kishika, Ako and Uto, and we don't have yet for Mai and Momoha, but I'll get back to them later, right? So continuing on with Hakari, she's also related to Hahari because she is the, of course, daughter of Hahari, right? And we also get to see some moments between Hakari and Yamame, right? Because that whole, remember that chapter about Mehehe, or what's that called, right? But anyway, moving on. I guess I'll come back to that later. Okay, let's move on to Karane. Now, Karane, remember that chapter together with Ako? That was a sweet chapter. I absolutely love it. Karane and Meme, yep, I remember that one time in the whole equipment chapter where they certainly got along with each other really well. For Shizuka, of course, you have also her pairing with Nano. Who else? So maybe I have to get back to that. For Nano, yep, Nano, Shizuka, of course. You have also Nano and Mimi's whole relationship. Kusuri and Yaku, yep, of course. That's one chain link. Hahari, Kurumi, of course, with Mei as well. Mei in turn, relationship with Hahari as master and maid, that whole ordeal. Iku and Kishika as sports club members, you have that. Mei and Mai, or should I say Mai and Mei, right? So you have that. That's one line there. Chiyo, of course, with Miss Nadi. And Nadi Sensei, I guess I can also put her in the same relationship with Momoha in the sense that they're both teachers, and Nadi as well, and as a staff in the school of Hahari, since Hahari is already the chairman of the school of Rentaro. Ha! Oh yeah, and also I can include Mai with Hahari, because since she is a maid in their household, right? So yeah, and right, I can also forget Hakari's connection with Mei, and of course with Mai as well. So this is essentially the whole Hanazono household set. Who next? Ako. So far we've already got a date chapter together with Uto, right? So that's one thing. to learn of. Kishika, they got Iku, right, as the fellow sports club, athlete club member. Yaku as well. Kishika and Ako, yeah, that's the thing. We don't really get to see much solo chapters yet. That's why I've stressed on the part that this is gonna be on the current level of engagement, so to speak, right? Or the times when we get to see a chapter focusing between them and other characters, right? For Yamame, yep, it's Hakari, and I guess I could also say really good on terms with Kurumi and Mei, I suppose, yeah. So we can just slide that here for Kurumi and one for Mei. This is quite hard to do with only one arm. Moving on, it's Momiji. Yup, I'm gonna attach Momiji with Hahari because they go together like bread and butter. Literally. The same goes for Hahari and Kishika, a combo! Yes! Man, I'm glad I didn't forget that. Alright, Hahari, Kishika, yes. The mommy figure, of course. How can I forget it, right? How can I forget that? I guess I can also tie in Yaku and Momiji. And Yaku and Nadi, sorry. Because of that one time that they've spent in the hiking chapter and as well as in the stall chapter between the introduction of Ako to the Rentaro family. So, American candy, what's it called? Yeah, that's the stall that they made. So there's that. Kurumi and Momiji, yes, of course. How can I forget? Hold on. There we go. So yeah, Kurumi, Momiji, yeah, because they're classmates. I guess I can also put together Hakari and Momoha in the sense that they both love to get it on or want to get it on with Rentaro. They both know what they're doing. They both know what they like. God, I'm glad I remember this. Yamame and Iku, because of how Iku really loves to stay close to Yamame in case if she falls down. For Mai, I guess I can also put her together with with Kurumi and with Chiyo, because she is one of those sorry about that. I together with Kurumi and Chiyo because she's one of those girlfriends who really doubt, I suppose, the Rentaro being together with the Rentaro family at first, or I guess the whole idea of Rentaro 21 timing essentially, or 20 timing for that matter in the case of when Mai joined in, right? So it's Kurumi and Kishika and Iku, I suppose, yeah. Iku enter with Kishika, and yep, that makes sense. So you have the three of them, Kurumi, Iku, Kishika, because of their, I guess, in the same category as persons who need to strengthen their to subdue their desires, I suppose, what was it called from the equipment chapter. So it's Iku and what's it again? Iku and Hahari rather, yeah. Because of the paddles. I can say the same, I guess, for Kusuri as well, and that whole arena, right? Then you have also Nano or rather Shizuka, and I can also really pair it well with Mimimi because of her, this whole same love between her and Nano. So Shizuka and Meme love for cute things as well, yeah. Alright, Shizuka and Meme from love for cute things rather, or some more like sewing, I suppose, yeah. I remember that one time in the Tsundere Lost arc, yeah. There's also, of course, I'm gonna forget Momoha and Yamame, since Yamame is in the gardening club and Momoha is the advisor, and in turn Momoha is also with Hahari because she's the chairman and she helped coordinate all the stuff, so Hahari and Momoha. Plus, I should have realized that from the good thing I realized it quicker from connecting, Nadia and Momoha, since they're both teachers, Nadi with Hahari, Momoha and Hahari, also one way or another they make sense. Chiyo and Kusuri, the glasses chapter, yeah, because when Kusuri puts on glasses, when she transforms into her adult form, it reminds Chiyo of her mother, and she gets all melty. Kusuri and Shizuka, I guess I could also pair them up, and Shizuka and Chiyo rather as well. Um, Little girls having fun times. So, I guess that's all. I don't know. Perhaps I'm missing something. If you have any input in this or if any thoughts on it, please do share them in the comments below. I would love to read them. So according to this graph or to this web chart, flow chart, what do I call this? According to this diagram, you can see that mostly or most especially within the earlier characters of this manga series, you can see that there's a lot of interactions happening among them, and I guess that is to be expected. As early characters, they have more opportunities for a lot of different ways of engagements, right? With either towards Rentaro, the protagonist, or towards relationships or building relationships with the other girlfriends as well. Case in point, in chapters such as with Karane and Akos, with Hakari and Yamame's, and so on and so forth. You also have solo chapters such as with Iku's and with Shizuka's to give more information and more background and just more showcasing essentially for this particular character. Now, needless to say, of course, this isn't gonna be permanent. It will just grow even bigger, even wilder, even crazier to think that we're gonna this is a manga where we're gonna have 100 heroines, so this entire this entire cluster is just gonna get again even bigger, even crazier. Now perhaps in future chapters there's gonna be a chapter where we'd finally get to see the one that I said earlier, Hahari and Yamame, having a chapter to themselves or something like that, and so on and so forth. Again, there's a lot of different possibilities for not only dual chapters or chapters that contain two girlfriends. For instance, in the chapter with Iku and Mei, right, the training chapter, and there's also the chapter between Karane and Ako and Uto, and the like. But again, this really goes a long way. It expands greatly between a chapter with two girlfriends, three girlfriends, four girlfriends, five girlfriends, or heck, even all of them at once. That is gonna be something that is exciting to read, and I guess let's just have fun with it, right? Let's really enjoy this to the fullest, because again, I said this many times already, I really love this manga series. I really love this manga, and just can't wait for the family to grow even bigger. And with that being said, take care, family.